It's a little bit of a later introduction in this video. The way the video came together, it just felt like we needed to jump right on in. But I did want to talk about sort of the inspiration for this painting session, or sessions. We actually filmed this in November, I think, and it just hadn't fit into the schedule to put it out yet until now. But even though it was only November, I do this thing where I anticipate seasons right before they're coming. I get really excited when they're just about to arrive, and I was really excited about the idea and feeling of deep winter, and we are kind of here. I mean, this week in northwest London, it's kind of been about as wintry as it gets around here. We haven't had inches of snow, but we've had constant dustings. We've had lots of frost that's stayed around for the week. I was craving at the time just places and stories and things that made me feel like I was deep north. I was very much inspired by another YouTuber and artist, Jana Yenten. Don't know if I'm saying her name right in the least, but I watched this particular video that I will link where she paints on the beach. It was in October, so it was before it got too cold. Forgot to mention she lives in North Sweden, so when it was October there, it seemed to feel like how it would feel in January here, and I was really getting excited about that. And her painting just was so loose and free and abstract, and there were these deep moody blues that just really inspire me already. I just really craved painting, and this was actually my first time painting in a while, and it was maybe my second time oil painting, and this later inspired going outside and doing some plein air afterwards. But I needed something that was just easy to get me started, and I decided to just mix up all my favorite colors and use those. This worked really well in my mind because my favorite colors are a range of blues and greens, whether it is the palest yellow green that brings me so much joy to look at, or if it's the darkest, like almost black, moody, deep blue, like green blue. Anything in that range I just love. I wanted to just mix up a range of my favorite colors, put it on there in a balanced way, and see where it took me. It was more about the process than what I ended up with. I was also just feeling really anxious around that time. This just helped me release some of that negative energy. It helped me relax. Jana's video helped me relax as well. It was really therapeutic to watch her paint because it just reminded me that's what I want to be doing. I want to be outside, I want to be painting, I want to be creative, and I want like a stress-free space to be in. I hope this reminds you to just take care of yourself and maybe just create something when you feel like creating something. Something I learned this past year was that I had this internal voice or messaging that when I'm creating art, I am not being responsible. That is not true. It's the opposite. You are being very responsible if you're making time to create something that you enjoy creating. I hope that helps make the world a little better place by putting that on the internet. So yeah, I painted two because the first one I wasn't happy with at first. I just followed where my heart wanted to go. It ended up being a lot more muddied than I originally was kind of imagining. I feel less like that now. How it affected me was when I looked at it, it really made me feel kind of sad. It kind of reminded me of, I was going for that kind of moody weather feeling, but it then instead just made me feel moody myself looking at it. And so I wanted to try doing the same thing, but instead of working from dark to light, working light to dark. And this is before I knew that oils work better when you do work from dark to light. So this one was a lot simpler and easy to blend, whereas this one, I learned that, and you watched as well in some of the footage, that I was really struggling to keep certain colors where they were supposed to be. And that was a good way to learn that, I feel like. The drips that I added were just completely experimental. I don't know if I like them. They're kind of cheesy, but maybe they're not. You never know. I don't know. And they worked out better on this first one, I feel like, because they're a little thicker on this one. Like it just looks a little messier. Whereas this looks like you're looking through a window, and like these are the droplets in the window. And it looks like, I like that it looks like it's the same view. I like that it looks like it's the same view, but maybe a moment before or a moment later, maybe even the next day, when maybe things are looking a little bit better. And it definitely kind of has a feeling of like what mental illness can feel like. Maybe that's a little deep, but I guess because this was kind of like a therapeutic feeling, art therapy sort of session that I gave myself, it made me feel like I was illustrating how I was actually feeling. And then when I just tried to go happier, there's still a little melancholy in there, but I am definitely feeling better there. Yeah, I think they definitely capture something. I'm not sure how much I love these. I don't know about the art style, but the fact was it was more so the session itself than what I ended up with. I also ended up with a third painting that you haven't seen until now. Shep and I we did some watercolor leaf painting not long after that, and he took the time out of that to make a copycat version of one of my paintings. And I think he did a really good job. So we also got this out of the session. I mean, look at that. That's spot on. He did that in 2 seconds. I just want to thank you so much for watching this far into the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it felt a little therapeutic as it did for me. If you liked this video, I would love it if you would subscribe or like or comment or all of the above. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye!